Hello, Stratisons, and welcome to the Straticephere. I'm your host, Scott Franklin, and my co-host, Jordan Franklin.
That's me.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Welcome to episode 3.
Thanks. Well, you too.
Thank you.
I'm happy you're here again with me today.
Well, I do what I can for the fans.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, good.
So I have a interesting, and it's kind of close to both of our hearts, I think.
Yeah.
Blog it's actually hitting today.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And it's called Why Your Hiring Process is Part of Your Employer Brand, Whether You Like It or Not.
I really like that. I think that there's a lot to uncover in this one.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of ways you could go with it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that it's like one of your first touch points with anyone is how you represent yourself in a job description.
Ooh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You want to dive into that? I can tell.
I'm excited.
Excited about this.
I am excited about this.
So you think that your brand is shown in a document that explains what a position is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, hey, actually first, we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Because I wanted to start, so at the end of the blog, it kind of gives it's called a gut check, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it says, if a group of prospective employees applied this week, would they describe your employer brand as organized or scattered, human or transactional, decisive or hesitant,
Yeah.
and clear or vague?
I think you can get most of that from the job description and then from the rejection. If you're ever rejected.
Right.
Yeah, I think it also plays out through the interviewing process, but just those two things. Let's just say you submitted your resume, right?
Yeah. You've applied.
You've applied. You never have an interview.
Nope.
And
do you hear anything?
Right. Do you hear anything?
Do you get an email?
Do you get an email? Do you get a call? Hey, we've already selected somebody else. Like, we want to know what's going on. Thank you for your application. Or do you just sit in queue and never get any correspondence? Right?
I know. I knew you were going to like this.
So, oh no, I love this topic. This is like one of my favorite topics.
Yeah.
But I think that even without an interview, you already created an idea of the company, right? Or how they function just off of
brand.
Right. You've already thought of what their brand is, how they function. You've already made assumptions just off of the job description.
Yeah.
If you convince yourself that those assumptions are okay, this looks like a company I want to apply for, right? Your assumptions can be corrected or changed in the communication you get, even if you don't have an interview.
That's absolutely true. And December goes through that in the blog too.
So, this is a fun topic.
It is. So let's start with, so basically this is not for, we're talking about the employer brand.
Mm-hmm.
When folks go on to LinkedIn or Indeed or whatever those sites are,
right,
and they're applying for jobs, most of the time they probably know who they're applying for, right?
Yeah, or they've done their research.
It's probably a big company.
Right.
It's a large enterprise.
Unless they come across on LinkedIn random company X, Y, and Z has a post today,
Yeah,
but then they're going to go research it and then they'll go back and apply.
Yeah. But I guess if something just comes across like that seems a little more random than them actually looking in their, around their community for a job. Like around here in Northwest Arkansas, we have many large companies.
Yeah.
Luckily.
Yeah.
Right. But as we know, their hiring processes are different than each other, for one.
Yeah.
But then also different than small and medium-sized companies, which is something that I think that December was kind of bringing up here.
Yeah, well, and I think with the small and medium-sized companies, it's even more important.
Absolutely.
Because they're then turning around and competing with those large companies that are a known brand, right? And they've got to really be that company that comes up on LinkedIn that you didn't know about, right? So your first touch point is that job description, right? Is that whatever you put out on LinkedIn for that job. And then your next touch point is the site that you go to or the About Me within LinkedIn or something like that, because they're going to go be like, oh, what is X, Y, and Z company? I kind of want to know what they do. But your first touch point was your job description.
Was your job description.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that just goes to show you how big your employer brand is at this point. I mean, I'm sure it was big before us.
Yeah. You mean the generation before us?
The generation before us?
Gen X wasn't that big?
I would assume that because if you think about it, just like we do, I'm sure that we'll assume that most of you do the things that we do, just for the case of argument here, is that if we see a job and we're interested in that job, come across LinkedIn, or say you have something set up for your local like community outreach or whatever that people can post jobs to.
Yeah.
So you see that there's a job in there that you're interested in, right?
Yep.
It may not be because it's written well or whatever.
I mean,
it could be the
job title.
It could be a job title that you're interested in.
Yeah.
Or something, or it's just something that is local to your community. Then you got to go to their website.
Right.
So your website better be
on point
and not fidgety.
Yep.
And then what? And then what's next after that? Then you go apply for that job on their website.
You could go apply for that job. I mean, I think there's a couple avenues people take from there, right? So they probably look at their website. I think they probably then go back and look at their LinkedIn.
At the company's LinkedIn.
At the company's LinkedIn, and maybe the people that are within that organization, what are they posting? Are they supportive of the organization? I think that they go back and they look at the About Me page on the LinkedIn. How is it organized? Is it cohesive? Does it tell me anything? I mean, I know we go a little above and beyond because our job is to kind of be stalkers of companies and people, making sure that we need to know. We need to know what your culture is. We need to know all these things. So I'm going to, like you said, for the sake of arguing or this argument, like discussion, let's not call it an argument.
Sure.
For the sake of this discussion, like I'm going to assume everyone goes.
Sounds like we're really getting into it.
Yeah.
Getting a deep dive into this.
Right. And I'm going to assume that everyone goes and does all the research that we would. Right.
Well, maybe not so in depth, but they definitely go to the website.
And I think they go to their LinkedIn.
And they probably go to a LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they go any deeper than that. I don't know if they go check like the people that work there.
Or they might go to Glassdoor.
They could go to Glassdoor.
Yeah.
That's not something that we've invested in, I guess, but
yeah. So I think, they could go to Glassdoor and do some peer-to-peer reviewing and see what people are saying about the organization.
Yeah.
I do think that they would do that.
Yeah.
Or Google review or something like that. So I think that's like as deep as they got, right? But again, what brought them to your site, if they're a job seeker, right? Like we're talking about job seekers here. If they're a job seeker, what brought them to your site is
this podcast.
Is the job description.
Oh, the job description.
Right. Well, and also I think people go to sites for what they're posting, but that's,
go to sites for.
I think our point is your employee brand goes all the way down to the job description.
Yeah.
People think of those other places as their employee brand as well. Right? Or as their company brand, right? So how do you make sure that the smallest thing that you're also getting judged on, being a job description, is also representing your company in the light that you want it to? So because then that explodes into candidate care, interview process. How do we represent our company appropriately, right, throughout the whole process, starting with the job description.
Starting with the job description.
Yeah, not the not like the stagnant job description that was written 10 years ago.
Do you think they're better now than they were 10 years ago?
No. My point is that I don't know how much some of them have changed. Like, they just need to be like, it needs to be a constant revamp. It needs to be an ongoing living document that this hiring manager, I call them flavors of ice cream, right? If you have 8 different hiring managers and you have one job description, you're doing something wrong.
It's not going to fit all.
It's not.
Probably not going to fit 2.
Right. You have 8 different flavors of that job. And so you just really need to be able to represent that.
The reason behind that is because they're going to find different things more important to them.
Or more important to their team. They don't have the exact same teams. Sure. Like, they might have the same titles on the team, but each person is taking on a different little shape. And so their teams don't look exactly the same. Or don't function exactly the same.
Yeah. So if you're a small or medium business, you need to make sure that your brand is popping. I don't know you need to make sure that it has a good reputation. And that's something that
Stratis... vibe.
Oh, yeah, you're going to bring vibe into it? Yeah. Okay, that's good. It's in here, too.
I know.
Okay. So your hiring process is public. It's a brand moment, not an admin task.
No, I absolutely agree with that. I think that's exactly what we're getting at when we say that, like, 8 different hiring managers, same job description doesn't function. That's a branding moment for that team, right? That team has its own culture, like, within that team of how they function. And I don't expect you to rewrite, but at least have some gray area covered within the job description so that you understand that team, this team functions with blah, 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 blah. We're highly seeking X, right? That's not asking you to rewrite the whole job description. That's just saying there's some key details that could be in there.
What if that hiring manager or a hiring manager of the 8 or whatever, but say there's 2 hiring managers. What if one of them says, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to work on your job description.
I just think it takes them more time to find the right person. So the question from either the talent acquisition team or whoever you're working with.
Stratis.
Right.
You could work with Stratis.
You could. Whoever you're working with, the question should be, or the statement back to that person, that hiring manager should be, okay, so you're willing to take the extra time to go through the extra people because there's going to be a tango here that we're not going to have the right person because you didn't give me this extra information. So either we can have a 10, 15, 20-minute call on the front end, right? And me fully understand what you're wanting, or we can go through a couple extra resumes and dig in with maybe like 10 emails back and forth, understanding, which is going to take you the same amount of time.
Or more. Probably going to take you more time.
Right.
Because now you're getting those resumes that you couldn't care less to look at.
Right.
And
we as a talent acquisition industry have spent more time talking to people that you don't even care about.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And now you're kind of tarnishing that brand, right? Because now you're having to let other people go out of the process because they didn't fit the job description, and now you look a little confused and confuzzled. Hey, whatever.
The candidate experience does not end when you say no.
No, I think it's also how you say no.
So you mean that the people that apply on LinkedIn and all they get is an email saying thank you for applying.
And you're like, thank you for never applying?
And then don't ever hear anything again until maybe they get an email that says we're going in a different direction or whatever.
Or maybe they never get that email.
Or they don't ever get that email.
Yeah. You're describing the black hole of the applying process right now.
I am, and I'm trying to loop it back to the employer brand.
Oh, absolutely. So I think they're, I call companies and talent acquisition your wingman, right? Because like, I don't know if you had wingmen when you were in college or not. I mean, you definitely had a wingman when you got me. But like they're like the soft break, right? So hiring managers can tell talent acquisition, hey, I don't want X, I don't want Y, I need Z, you know.
Yeah.
But it goes the opposite direction too, right? Talent acquisition has that relationship or should have that relationship with the candidate to say, hey, you know what, this position just wasn't for you. We really liked your personality, or you know, there's a soft break there, right? Like it could be you're not the right person, we didn't like your personality, but you're not going to frame it that way. You're going to say, hey, this, you know, we just don't have anything and this position wasn't for you. You know, the right words still go a long way. And that person might not be right for your company, but you don't know, they might have a friend that is. And the better you let them know that, yeah, the better you let them down, the more likely they are to go be an influencer for your organization, right? And influence people to apply. Hey, I had this great experience. I mean, I didn't get the job.
I wouldn't say great experience, though. It wasn't a great experience. It was a better experience.
It could be a great experience.
I didn't get the job. It was a great experience.
I mean, if the interview was good. If there was we're in the scenario that there's no interview. So I had it could be a great experience, because right now the experience that most everyone's getting is a black hole experience. Mm-hmm. So if you're calling to let them down in this scenario, it could have been a great experience. It's probably
better than the alternative of
right.
not hearing anything.
Right. So, but I mean, some sort of communication. I understand large organizations have to make that automated, and I think we all expect that right now.
And I think that we're getting to the point that we just understand that's what it is.
Right.
But for those out there that are in a position of hiring someone, it doesn't have to be that way.
Right. Well, and I also think that if you're small to mid-size, you're not getting the thousands and thousands of applicants. So you should take
the time.
Mm-hmm. To give them the care they should expect.
Candidate care.
Yeah.
Because then they're going to turn around and they're going to say, you know, because their families are going to ask questions. Oh, you applied there. What happened? Oh, well, I didn't get the job, but
they called me.
They called me. They talked to me. They were nice.
Yeah.
They made me understand why I didn't get it.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of times, I mean, for us anyway, that's our recruiters that are doing that.
Yeah. Well, and I really think that, you know, some of these things that we talk about are reasons why companies use us, right? They don't have the time to give the candidate care. They don't have the time, you know, they're bogged down. Maybe it's just an HR person. There's no talent acquisition. Maybe there is a talent acquisition person, but they're really not on the site.
They have 20 jobs open they're trying to fill.
Right. They have too many jobs. We talked to one company this week, and they filled 1,700 jobs last year.
Filled
1,700 jobs last year with 20 recruiters. That's like roughly one job every 3 days for each recruiter.
That's insane.
It's insane, right? So they don't have the
insane
time.
As being that's really good. Those recruiters were kicking butt. And their hiring managers were on point. Like they must have a flawless process.
Right, exactly. Well, and that's great, but I wonder how many candidates that didn't make it or didn't have a good experience deterred other candidates from being hired this year.
Oh.
Right? So, or deterred other candidates from applying last year. Could it have been more successful? You know?
I don't know. That's pretty successful.
It's great, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because they were kicking butt, were they taking care of the minor things? And I think companies that don't have the time.
Well, obviously, if they had that many jobs up, they were a larger.
Oh, they're a large organization. Yeah. And I would say like the mid to small organizations where everyone's wearing multiple hats.
Yeah.
It's tough. Even if they only have 20 people apply.
Well, I mean, even for a staffing firm like us.
Yeah.
Like we know what to do. We know how to do it.
Yeah.
We know how to set up the process Doesn't always work.
Doesn't always work, but I will say
not everybody walks out of there even not getting a job happy to say that they applied there.
Right, but they're happy to have worked with us.
Maybe.
Most
of them, we hope.
Most of them. I mean, we
try to give them the time of day.
Yeah, we've worked with one candidate for 3 years before we found him a job.
Well, that's different though. I'm talking about if we were hiring internally.
Oh, yes. Yeah. No, it's hard.
It's hard.
It's really hard.
We know that it's hard.
Yeah.
But it's easier for us because that's our job.
Right. But it's also hard to make it our job for us.
Well, no, it's hard. That's what I'm saying. It's harder for us to make it our thing.
Yeah.
But for our job, we can see and go, oh, hey, we need to fix this.
It's the wingman mentality.
Yeah. It's a wing. Sure.
Like
Stratus is a great wingman.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you know what your friend likes better than your friend knows what they like. Or you,
Wait, say that again.
It's like the self-awareness situation, right? Like, not always do we see the ugly in ourselves, but we can see the ugly in others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
your hiring process is ugly. Let me fix it.
Right. That's the wingman mentality. Like, this
I don't
is not
like that.
pretty.
We got to come up with a better name for that. It's not
okay. I'll come up with one.
I'll put it in my notes.
Okay.
Maybe next episode we'll come up with what that is.
Okay.
The Stratus mentality.
Stratus mentality. Sure. It's nobody. Okay.
Wingman mentality though is just too weird.
Well, I mean, maybe, but it's basically what I'm.
Yeah, it is.
You understand what I'm saying.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Well, and I also think like letting people down when it's for you, just like letting people go when they work for you, it's harder.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's hard for us too when we reach out and we find a candidate and we help them through the process and then they don't get the job. That's tough too.
Yeah, that's tough.
Because
but we're not the ones having to make the decision to tell them no. So it's a little easier. It's not our decision.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's a little easier to have that conversation because you're not the bad guy in that situation, right? But when you are the bad guy, that's hard because you're like, wait, they might fit for something else, just not this.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I feel like it's a little easier when you're not the hiring manager to deliver that information.
Well, that's also why we keep a database.
Yeah.
So that we can help those that maybe didn't get that job but would fit for something else.
Exactly.
And we're always looking. So it's not like they're just going to fall into the dark hole.
Right. I mean, that's this scenario I just said. Like, we've worked with one candidate for 3 years before we got her a job.
Yeah.
And that's because we were looking for the right fit for her. Obviously, she had another job, but to stay on top of things like that, I think she probably would recommend us to anyone.
And
that's what you're looking for as a small to mid-sized organization, is that type of care.
Yeah.
Candidate care. And it goes all the way through. It doesn't stop the first day they walk in the door either.
It's the Stratus mentality.
Yeah, there you go. It doesn't stop the first day they walk in the door, right?
No, it goes forever from that point because we've built that relationship.
And now they've accepted the job, right? So you got to keep that going.
All right. Well,
it can't be fake.
It's not. Yeah. It can't be faked.
Yeah, it can't be faked.
So let's think about the client side now. I know we kind of go towards the candidate side a little more just because we see it a lot. But
yeah,
if you think about the hiring process, every extra day in your process costs you more than you think.
Yeah.
When we've had some of the experience with some of the clients that we have, and it's, let's say, over 3 interviews, and those interviews are spread out because
over a month and a half
because
scheduling issues
because you got to have so many people interviewing this one candidate.
Yep.
You got panels of people.
Yeah.
And then if they can't make it, then the whole thing gets scrapped and it gets pushed to another day.
Yep.
So how do you think that, I mean, obviously that's the point that I'm trying to make here, is that it costs you
a ton.
Every day that you're in that hiring process,
it
costs you money.
Yeah.
Or it costs you, I don't even know what you call it, points or something. Employer brand points.
Yeah.
Like you start out with like 100 and you start losing points the longer that it takes for you to hire somebody.
Right. No, I absolutely agree. Or like when they get there, you're not ready for them. Like, wait, it just took me a week to get this meeting and you're not on the call yet. Like,
say that. What do you mean?
Like for the interview, let's just say the interviewer.
Oh, the interviewer's late.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. Or something like that. You've got to think every little thing, costs money.
Yeah.
Because you're spending someone's time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Time is money.
And time is money. So like how efficient you interview or get through the interview process is extremely important. Right. I will say we had one person interview and they did well. They did it all in one day. Candidate was there all day long.
Yeah.
Right. But
this was their first interaction?
A phone call and then all day long on-site interviews.
Wow.
Tech screen and then all day interview.
I like that. So
you do. But then when we talk about efficiency, the person there was all day, was there all day, right?
So if they have a job, they've had to take
time off, right? They had 2 1-hour breaks, but if they left the building, they had to rebadge back in. So they had to sign back in, get a new badge, drop the old one off, right? They went from one building to another building for lunch, where a VP had to escort them over there and then escort them back. And the last interview was at the separate building. So they had to badge out, be escorted by the VP, do the interview over there. While the VP waited for the interview to be done, they were escorted back to the main building. So all of those efficiencies, and they've checked in and checked out of buildings like 4 times, right? And they had a VP. Only HR knows how much that person's paid, right? Escorting the whole day. So now you've candidate this whole day.
Yep.
The VP's whole day. And 3, I think she had 4 interviews that day. So 4 more 1-hour interviews. And blocked off a whole interview room for the whole day. So now you've lost efficiency for that. Right. So like, yes, good for the company for getting it all in one day.
The reason I say that I like that is because I think that's better than having to interview several times over a month and a half.
No, absolutely. But what I'm saying is, even though that was efficient in that one day, there were inefficiencies that could have made it more efficient in maybe half a day.
Yeah.
Right?
Limit it to a 30-minute interview instead of...
Or a 45-minute interview, pack on 2 back-to-back, break in the middle, 2 back-to-back. You know, and now you've only tied up that thing for one day. You don't have to provide the candidate lunch.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe you do provide the candidate lunch because that's that's another interview within, you know, like
it kind of takes the pressure off.
Right. Takes the pressure off. That's how I want to see how they interact in this.
Yeah.
But even though that seems efficient, you want to make it as streamlined as possible because depending on how analytical the candidate is, they're analyzing every step in that coordination.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, did they have, if there was a Skype within those 4, which this happened, if there was...
Are you on my page?
Yeah.
No, you're not. I'm ahead of you.
Okay.
And you're already in my next point.
Oh.
But I like it. Like you're just following along with, I'm just...
Sorry.
Softballs over here.
Well, I mean, I
guess I could just wind you up and let you go.
Yeah, you can. But, okay, real quick, let me finish my thought.
Finish your thought. Go ahead.
Okay, so even within that, like, even with it, if you got it down to 4 hours, right? Yeah. Or like the morning interviewing, like having the video call set up so that the person doesn't have to know the login, that it just clicks it and it goes, right? Having those kind of things set up so that it looks and you show how streamlined and efficient your organization is, I think is key too.
Yeah.
Because I found out, when she told me about her day, I was like, well, this could have been done like this, and that could have been done like that, and we should have done X, Y, and Z. And next time when I work with this organization, I'm going to suggest all of these things so that the flow for the candidate is seamless.
Yeah, their experience in the interview.
Right.
Which, that's why I was asking if you were on my page.
I wasn't on your page.
Because my next point was your interviews are a preview of your employee experience.
Absolutely.
So what they're getting with these inefficiencies, would you say that once they got the job that they were surrounded by inefficiencies? What do they take from that day-long interview or interviews, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah.
What do they take from that as a candidate? We do the interviews. I feel good about it. You feel good about it. I get an offer or whatever.
Right.
What should I be expecting?
Oh, that
from the knowledge that I gained from that one day in your organization as when I'm stepping on for my first day.
That there's probably inefficiencies plaguing everywhere within the organization.
Yeah.
Right? Because if this company like that we were working with, they also have a large talent acquisition team. So the candidate's response to me was, shouldn't their internal TA team have gotten that all together and had it working more seamless? So their thought after the interview was, if that's their job and it's not happening, then what other jobs aren't happening?
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's what you've got to think about. But like we say, that might be the case. And the candidate might just love the people within the interview and within the organization. So the inefficiencies, they can get past, right? Because they were minimal.
What do you think? So let's switch it around and make us the employer.
Mm-hmm.
And people come in and we interview people. What do you think that they think that their experience? Because obviously they're getting a brand from us.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody goes to the website. I mean, that's just like what people do. They go to the website, they check it out.
Yeah.
And then they come into the office and they interview.
They're interviewing for an internal position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think they feel leaving? What do you think they are expecting if they get the job? I mean, you got to look internally.
Right. I think they expect that we are a high performing team and we expect you to be high performing as well. One of the questions we ask within our interview process is, what's your fire? I mean, people, I've been told people hate the question.
Well, because that's not a normal interview question.
It's not a normal interview.
Fire?
Right. It's not a normal interview question, but for us, I want to know how you tick. Right. What makes you tick?
Yeah.
Right. And
that was cute. I would do that too.
I mean, we're cute. I mean, understanding what makes you tick is very important for us, right? Because that shows me as a manager how can I manage you and get the most out of you.
Yeah.
Right. And make you the most efficient you can be, right? Or the most you can be. So I think that's what they would leave us with. Now, if they don't get a response back because either we're on different pages, your gut says one thing, mine says the other, within a couple of days, I think that changes, right? Wait, I thought the hair was on fire for this position, because normally when we hire, our hair's on fire.
Yeah.
But they haven't made a decision, so maybe that doesn't leave a great taste.
After a couple of days.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you've got to get responses. Ideally, a well-oiled hiring machine has 3 candidates, interviews all 3 candidates within a week, and has a nice timeline to say, this is who we want, right? Takes them through the process.
3.
I think 3. Trace. Yeah. Well, if you're working with a talent acquisition or HR, they've probably talked to multiple other ones before that. You're 3 finalists.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so you think that they should be able to interview these 3?
Yep.
And have an answer by the next week?
Yeah. And as you're going through the tech interviews, you're letting them know right then, right?
Yeah, you didn't
interview
do well
1, you didn't
test,
do, right. you're let out of this.
Disqualified.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now those 3 that made it to
the
gauntlet.
Final boss.
Yeah, the final boss. Their interview process shouldn't take, like, from start to finish. We're talking about normal positions, right? Not purple squirrels out there.
Yeah.
I don't think their interview process should take longer than 2 weeks. From point of not now, what I say 2 weeks, I mean from point of technical screen to final interview.
I think that's all well and good for us, or even a
company that has a talent acquisition,
small or medium-sized business.
Yeah,
that engaged with us. And the reason being is because we get that job description and we have a conversation.
There's an intake call.
The hiring manager.
Yep.
We figure out exactly what they're looking for, what their culture is.
Yep.
And then we go out and we hunt.
Right.
We go look for that person out in the.
That's a good differentiation. We don't post.
We don't post much. We do post every once in a while, but that's not.
But we don't post much.
For the most part, we don't post. And we go find those people.
Passive candidates.
We go find those passive candidates.
Mm-hmm.
And we interview them ourselves.
Yep.
Based on that intake call.
Yep.
And that job description.
Yep.
And the ones that we actually bring to the client are the ones who have already passed our interviews.
Yes.
So, in a perfect world,
they would be interviewing with the hiring manager. Not a technical screener.
Not a technical screener, because we've already been through that with them. If that company wants to give them some sort of technical test,
we can do that. We can assist with that.
And we have done that. We've done that for clients. But if they want to do it themselves, then that's, well and fine. That candidate or those candidates who we have submitted, the 3, should only have 1 or 2 interviews. In a perfect world.
In a perfect world. Yeah.
So when we're working with these large enterprises and we're doing our job, they shouldn't have to go through a month or a month and a half interview process.
They shouldn't. But just because we're doing our job doesn't mean
they're doing theirs.
Or the people we're competing against.
Right.
We're not the only
ones throwing resumes over the fence.
Right.
But how does that reflect in their employer brand? Not saying the large one I'm talking about. Does that reflect more on us, or does that reflect on the client?
Both. Right. I think when a client uses a staffing firm or a consultancy agency, they really need to vet them. They need to make sure that they too hold the culture and the urgency and the and the playbook, right? Essentially, or
why you got to bring the playbook up again,
right? I'm sorry, but they hold the same processes, right? And they're going to engage with those candidates in the same way, and so it's important. Stratus might not be for everyone.
No, that's not true. Stratus is for everyone.
I'm saying that because there might be a company that is not.
It doesn't need our assistance.
Or they don't have, or they need Stratus because they need more efficiencies and they're not there yet. So I say it reflects on both of us, because if it gets to our client and we haven't set up the processes correctly with them or outlined the process with them as we transition that candidate from us to them, they could have had a great experience with us and a trash experience with them, right?
Yeah.
But that reflects on both of us because we should have made sure the experience on the other end was well received.
We can't always control what the client does.
No,
or how their processes
No, we can't. But we can communicate efficiently with both sides.
We can communicate to a point to say it needs, we can't unless they're asking us, we can't go in and be like, you need to change this, this, and this. You could have better efficiencies on your 8-hour interview.
I agree with that. What I'm saying is we can save our brand in that scenario.
Yeah.
Because we can communicate to the candidate, hey, we haven't gotten anything yet. This is not our fault. Like, we're trying to get information for you. Like, we can communicate that. But it is definitely in that scenario a reflection on the company, because they might get to a point where they're like, well, they haven't responded to you in a month, like, or 2 months. I'm out.
Yeah. Well, and that, I think that all, I mean, I'm obviously biased because I think Stratus is great. But I could see an outcome of where we go pick somebody out of the crowd and be like, you're a good fit for this company. We think you should interview, blah, blah, blah. They agree with us, so they interview. And the thing is, the interview process is trash. They don't hear anything. We don't hear anything. We can't get them to communicate with us. I think that's a bad look on us too.
Oh, I do too. But I think we can save a little bit of that, right? We earn a couple points back if we're at least communicating with the candidate. Hey, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
But I think you're a great fit for this other position. Why don't you take a look at that? Or I don't have another position right now, but I'm still going to stay in contact with you. Is it okay if I call you every Monday? And if I get something in between Mondays, then I will, give you a shout and let you know.
Yeah.
That's also candidate care. And that's huge. I mean, we push that all the time. We incentivize communication with our candidates because, like, we want it to be consistent.
Well, and I think that over the years not that we didn't do it in the beginning, but I think that over the years we've seen how not like excommunicate, like if you're not having that conversation, if you're not having communication with the client or with the candidate,
right,
it just burns up.
Well, it just dies. It withers and dies. And I think that, like, we've also seen candidates where we sit on a vendor manager system, right? And they go out.
Which that's much harder for us.
It is. But we've also seen candidates where we're all filling the same job.
Yeah.
Right. And it's gone our way because we're communicative. We know more about the position because we've really dug in. Maybe it's just a MSP where we're one of 10 or 11 other companies and we're all working on the same position, but we're all contacting the same people. So if we're not the best at communication and we don't know, more than the other, then we're probably not going to win that candidate over to our team.
Yeah. Well, and I think that also goes to, like, our transparency.
Yeah.
We try to make sure that everybody knows everything. Like, we're not keeping anything in the dark because that doesn't help us any. It doesn't help the client any. It doesn't help the candidate any. So as long as we are doing what we need to do to make that experience better for the candidate, then it should go smooth.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the only way, like, there's 4 reasons why I always say there's 4 reasons why people move to a different job, right? Title, like, they're living. So is there more remote time? Is there more PTO? Like, how am I going to function and live in this position? Is this better than what I'm in right now? I would say money, obviously, right? More money. And then just, like, is there a sense of purpose? Like, does this position give me a sense of purpose? And you probably fall within one of those pillars, right?
What is your fire?
Right. It is, what is your fire, right? So how do you tick? And finding out how those candidates tick, might say, hey, I think you can take this government job over here because your fire is not money, right? But your fire is purpose. Yeah. This is a very purpose-driven position. Or it looks like you're ready for the next move up the ladder and this is the title you want, and titles don't always mean more money, but some people see them as, like, prestige.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You might have just started a family and you want more family time. So that big corporate job you have, you might take a lesser position for a little bit lesser pay. So
well, maybe not a lesser position, but a
different company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to that medium or small sized business.
Right. So, like, it's just understanding how those people tick is our business,
right?
And that goes all the way down to making sure that they're taken care of from the moment they hit apply, and helping our clients make sure, even if they're not using us to staff, if they're just using us to set up their, pipelines and talent acquisition and all of that stuff, like consulting on that side of the house, we want to make sure from the moment they hit apply that their brand is taken care of.
Well, we started out with a preview of your employee experience, and somehow, I don't know where we went, but it was fun.
It was fun.
I just think I need to redirect here.
Okay, redirect me.
Okay. So we won't go on this too long, but I like it because I'm going to tell you what it says. So this one's the way you hire reflects the way you lead, and your team feels it too. And the first was hiring reflects your business's core habits and vibe.
Vibe.
You got the vibe in there.
Yeah.
Did I skip one? No, I didn't.
I really do think that we can touch on this real quick.
Yeah, I didn't want to stay on it too long because I actually I'd like to get to some other stuff.
So. Okay. So I really do on the vibe situation, right? Like the fact that we take the time to understand what your fire is totally the way we lead, right? Because we want to ignite that fire. So I think what you say here in the blog is really good because it is true.
What December says.
Right. What December, what Stratus
thinks.
Yes, what Stratus thinks. I think it's really good because of that, right? Like you like I said in the day-long interview, like she liked all the people and she liked how they ticked. So all of the inefficiencies throughout the day didn't matter.
Yeah, because it's where she wanted to be.
Right.
Okay, so let's see if this sounds familiar to you or to you out there listening and or watching this awesome Straticephere podcast. All right, so we talked about hiring reflects your business core habits and vibe. When roles aren't clear, job postings are confusing, and slow approvals turn into sluggish hiring, misaligned managers send signals to candidates instantly, and your current teams feel it too. Longer, unstaffed periods, growing workloads, and potential burnouts. But here's the good news. Your existing team plays a key role in shaping your employer brand. A positive reputation isn't just for outsiders. It's built from how your team experiences work every day. A smooth, healthy hiring process helps your team thrive, reducing chaos, filling gaps quickly, and making everything clearer. These improvements show up in better retention.
Oh, I definitely agree.
On the head.
On the head.
Bang.
Good job, December.
I mean, it's right, though.
Yeah, it is.
Because you're like, if we come into situations with clients that have needs, they have jobs that are open that they need to fill, and they have teams that are overloaded, they have too much on their plate, they have too many responsibilities, they can't do everything.
Right. And
that's where that small and medium-sized business usually live.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah. But also, if you let that be, if that is shown in the hiring process, you're going to lose people in that hiring process.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be slow to hire them and they're going to just bounce. Even though you needed them yesterday, because you're not making it a point to fill that gap quickly, then they're out.
I mean, I understand that sometimes just, being an employer, that some things do move slowly.
Right.
Sometimes you have to move slowly.
But the communication
is key.
Yeah.
Yes, we are working on filling this position. However,
it might take a month.
We need to wait until next month, or we need to wait until next quarter.
Right.
To fill this, because right now we have to focus on A, B, and C.
Yeah. And there's times that we convince our clients into giving us jobs a month and a half ahead of when they want to hire.
Well, that
because
helps.
They're hard.
Yeah. And that helps us get through our process.
Right.
Because we can go ahead and vet the candidates and have a bench essentially of folks that we can say, hey, here you go. Here's some resumes, pick out your favorite.
Right. But my point in that is that those candidates have been sitting in process for a month and a half, and we just said that's not a good thing. Those candidates have been communicated, hey, this position's really not until let's just say May, right?
That's good because I was going to say April, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not until May, but we're starting on it now because we really want to make sure we drill down and get the right candidate. And a lot of the times in our scenario, and most people's scenario right now, you're pulling someone that already has a job. Mm-hmm. So communication up front that this position might take longer saves face.
Yeah.
And needs to be, even though it's scary to tell them that it's going to be a long process.
All right, but look at it from the team side.
Yeah.
Not from the
candidate side. Yeah. Well,
I think that's where you keep going. You're
in the team
so
side,
focused on the candidate that sometimes you have to think about, because
they need someone now.
Yeah, we're putting out this is our brand.
Yeah.
And if I have a team sitting here that's drowning in work and they need other people to help.
Yeah. That it just needs to be hired.
And I'm slow moving.
Then they're getting frustrated. They might leave.
They might talk bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fickle game we play.
It's a vicious cycle.
It's tough. All right, so that's fun. I just wanted to hit that real quick because I thought it was, I don't know, interesting. Employee testimonials are proof, but the process has to match the promise.
Well, I think that's what you just went through, right?
I mean, it's kind of all together.
It is.
It starts from the job description.
Yeah.
And goes all the way through the hiring process.
And it keeps going, right? Like your employees internally are your best influencers externally, mm-hmm. right? So like the better and more.
Yeah. So all you Stratus folks out there, go ahead and repost and like and all the things for the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I think like the more authentic you are with your team.
Yeah.
And pour into them, the better they're going to share that information with others. And
well, if you have salespeople, they're out there running around with your
brand. Yeah.
So you have to make sure that they're the right people first off, but secondly, they're out there spreading your good name,
right? Or
bad name,
right?
depending on
the day,
how things are working that day.
Yeah.
Small, medium-sized businesses do not win by being bigger. They win by being better to work with.
Absolutely.
Kind of goes back to, again, we just keep going to the same stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. Everyone knows the answer there, right? Like you work for a large corporation, you want more family time. You go to work for a smaller organization because they're more communicative. They might be slower paced, but like we just talked about, that's pretty normal for smaller organizations. I mean, even in our interviewing process of like intake of a job, right? Like we're asking, or
our intake call,
like we might know because the organization's giant, right? So we might not ask the question, but if it's a new client for us.
Well, I think we always ask the questions.
Yeah.
We have an assumption.
We have an assumption, like how does your day function? Is there any leniency? Like, because that goes back to the culture of the person that needs to be in that team.
Yeah.
Their vibe. I like the vibe.
I know.
So
it's kind of like if we're thinking about these big brands that everybody knows.
Yeah.
We already have an idea of how their culture is, we think, right? Or at least if we're working on their jobs, we've talked to their talent acquisition team or their HR team or the hiring managers.
Right.
And so we have some sort of idea of what their vibe is.
Right.
So when we go out and we search for those candidates, mm-hmm. we know which candidates are going to fit into that culture.
Yeah. And some companies, right, like for us, Northwest Arkansas is smaller. So you might get the vibe or understand a vibe from the intake call. And then you might go to softball or baseball and meet someone that works at one of those organizations.
Yeah.
And feel a completely different vibe, mm-hmm. right? But that's that influencing that I'm talking about. They might influence me to think, oh, that call I had with XYZ company, that wasn't very good. I don't think that they're going to be good. And then I go and talk to someone at another event and they're like, no, that team's amazing, blah, 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 blah. And my thought on their vibe might completely change, right? Or vice versa, right? It could go bad. So like really making sure that the care keeps going, I think in any situation helps, right? Because everyone talks.
Everyone talks.
Me more than some, but
only if I wind you up.
You did well.
I know. You did good with this one.
You did really well with this one.
So I want to just kind of recap as we wind this thing down here. Starts with an employer brand. Starts with a job description, because that's the first contact the candidate has.
Right. If someone's applying, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Starts with a job description.
And then it just explodes from there.
It never stops going.
It touches everything.
Everything.
So we've always got to be on our P's and Q's and trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
As in us, we just want to be transparent and communicative.
Yeah. And keep like time to fill in mind,
From the client side. Time to fill.
Time to fill your position.
Yeah.
You don't want it sitting out there. Evergreen positions suck. Like you.
That's funny because we were just talking about that yesterday. There's certain jobs out there that we can look at and be like, oh, that's a fake job.
Absolutely.
It's just out there to be out there.
Absolutely.
It's not going anywhere.
And if they filled it, then the person
into it.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
That is insane.
Is why put a job out there just to have people come?
Well, I saw a job out on LinkedIn yesterday for a company I had never heard of, which doesn't really mean much. I was
about to make a joke.
Okay, but we're out there a lot looking. So like for me to never have heard of them and they're here, was interesting, right? And it was like an app dev person, right?
But they needed a job description for an app dev.
Yeah. And they already had 150 applicants. I was like, how many of those applicants are bots, sandwich artists? You know what I mean? They're just wrong candidates.
Yeah, they're just applying to apply.
Right. Yeah. So, but it definitely starts from the beginning.
Yeah. So let's go back to the gut check, right?
Okay, let's do it.
If a group of prospective employees applied this week, would they describe your employer brand as organized or scattered, human or transactional, decisive or hesitant, clear or vague?
Yeah, so I think organized or scattered goes back to how well have you set everything up, right?
Efficiencies.
I think human or transactional to me is complete black hole, right? Or automated responses.
Okay.
I think decisive or hesitant is communication purely, because you can seem decisive even if you're not, as long as you're communicating.
Well, that goes for the clear or vague though, right?
It does go for the clear or vague. Clear or vague in my mind though is job description.
I know everything in your mind is job description.
Well, it's important.
It's very important. Decisive or hesitant in my mind was how long it takes to fill it.
Oh, I could see that too, yeah.
Are you being hesitant about hiring this person?
But you could fake decisiveness if you're communicating.
Decisive and I know exactly what I want.
Yeah.
This person fits the job. This person fits the culture. This person fits.
Yeah.
Hired, decisive.
Yeah.
Hesitant is like, maybe we need to look at a few more resumes, even though.
Or hitting on topics that aren't in the job description.
You mean like asking questions in the interview that have nothing to do with the job description?
Or the position at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to see how far out.
Yeah. That's obviously vague.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how far does your skills go? Drives me nuts.
I think I found that spot, a little itch. I mean, it may bug you a little bit. Clear or vague.
Drives me nuts.
I think the communication is when you're clear or vague.
Yeah.
So we'll know we'll let you know next week which way we're going on this.
Yeah.
That is clear. As long as they follow through and they make that decision.
Well, and the candidate should ask, okay, next week sounds great. By Wednesday?
Ooh, nice. Like put a timestamp on it.
Well, yeah, because you told me next week. And I'm going to start calling you on Monday if you're me.
Yeah.
Right? So
because it's next week now.
Right, it's next week. 8 a.m., 8:01. I'll give you till 8:01.
Yeah.
But you said next week. So.
All right. Well, hey, look, this was fun, I think. I thought it was a good one. It's something that I think is in close to my heart just because of the marketing side of it and like trying to make everything look good and be efficient with our processes and things like that.
Yeah.
And then obviously it's something good for you because you got to talk about job description.
It's not the only thing I'm passionate about. I like candidate care. And I think
candidate care. That's right. But it starts with the job description.
Yes.
Candidate care starts with the job description.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, are we ready to wrap it up?
We are. This was episode 3.
Episode 3. Thank you for joining us in the Stratosphere. Join us next time.